Is Detroit on the verge of engineering the NFL's most seismic trade of 2025? Could the Motor City roar grow even louder if one of the league's premier pass rushers swaps Cleveland Brown for Honolulu Blue? Just how transformative would it be if Myles Garrett, the embattled Brown superstar, were suddenly striding onto Ford Field? Hey Lions faithful, you're tuned in to Lions News Fan Report, your go-to source for all things Detroit, and today we're peeling back the curtain on a rumor so potent fans are already clutching their season tickets a little tighter. But before we unravel whether Myles Garrett is genuinely bound for Detroit, smash that like button and subscribe to Lions News Fan Report so you never miss an insider update when it drops. Now, let's set the stage without spilling the whole playbook. Up front, earlier this week at Radio Row during Super Bowl 2025, our own Dave Burkett cornered Garrett between interviews and posed the question on everyone's minds. Any thoughts on joining the Detroit Lions? Garrett's curt "not yet" response sent shockwaves through the fan base. Was that genuine ambivalence, a masterful poker face, or an intentional tease? After all, Garrett formally requested a trade from Cleveland back in early February, citing nothing short of a burning desire to win a championship. Detroit, with its newfound powerhouse identity under coach Dan Campbell and GM Brad Holmes, suddenly checks every box for a contender. When a player of Garrett's caliber, four-time first-team All-Pro, 102.5 career sacks, and 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, signals openness to Detroit, fans can't help but wonder. Is the stage set? An announcement that rewrites this offseason's narrative? Since his trade request, chatter has only amplified. Could Detroit realistically put together the package Cleveland demands? Early mock drafts speculated Detroit might surrender 2 future first-round picks, plus a high-value veteran salary, just to tip the scales. That's steep, even for a franchise riding a 15-2 record and a historic NFC North title last season. Yet, imagine the synergy. Aiden Hutchinson already terrorized quarterbacks on one side. Garrett, on the other, would forge an edge-rushing duo both enemies and analysts would dread. Picture Week 1 of 2025, with Jared Goff dropping back and immediately feeling pressure from both ends. A nightmare scenario for offensive coordinators across the league. Some insiders hint that Detroit's brass has quietly shifted from drafting a developmental edge rusher to going all in on Garrett, especially after a disappointing divisional round exit to Washington. Could that playoff loss be the very catalyst, pushing Holmes to abandon the draft board and clear cap space? Fans are speculating wildly. If Garrett dons silver and blue by training camp, could this be the missing piece that propels us to the Super Bowl? Others caution, is Detroit mortgaging its future for a one-season run? One thing's certain. Detroit's front office is locked in a high-stakes chess match between ambition and prudence. In the coming weeks, every OTA practice, every public remark from Dan Campbell, and every hint from Garrett's camp will be magnified tenfold. Will we see Garrett lining up opposite Hutchinson under Michigan's summer sun? Or might Cleveland hold firm, forcing Detroit to pivot toward Plan B? Could this rumor merely be a smokescreen? A ploy to extract more leverage? And if, perchance, the Lions do land Garrett, what ripple effects would that have on the roster? Would someone like Marvin Jones or DeAndre Swift get moved to accommodate cap space? As we await clarity, the mystery deepens. Is this the moment Detroit cements itself as the NFC's next dynasty, or is it a mirage destined to vanish by draft night? Stay tuned for Part 2, where we'll dive even deeper into scenarios, potential announcement timelines, and what this means for the entire NFC North hierarchy. If you're as fired up as I am for Lions News Fan Report, smack that like button. Subscribe to Lions News Fan Report and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat from Detroit's fiercest followers. Now, diving straight into the heart of the matter, word around the league is that Detroit's front office has quietly accelerated conversations with Cleveland's decision-makers, juggling draft assets and salary cap gymnastics to make Myles Garrett a reality. Could this be the moment when the Lions finally tip their hand and announce the blockbuster agreement that would send shockwaves from Canton to Hollywood? Some insiders suggest the trade language is locked in principle, with only the timing left to iron out. Imagine the scene. Ford Field packed to the rafters, fans chanting, "Miles! Miles!" as he takes the podium in Honolulu blue. If that moment arrives, it could redefine this franchise's trajectory. Reports hint that Cleveland has settled on a package that includes 2 first-round picks in 2026 and 2027, plus a mid-level supplemental pick this year, alongside sending back a veteran cornerback to bolster the Browns' secondary. Could Detroit really justify surrendering that level of draft capital? GM Brad Holmes apparently believes the answer is yes. With Aiden Hutchinson on one side and Garrett on the other, Detroit would boast arguably the league's most feared pass-rushing tandem. Those sacks, hurries, and pressures would compound relentlessly, forcing quarterbacks into uncomfortable pockets and turning jitters into mistakes. If that dynamic duo materializes, are we looking at a defense capable of eclipsing last season's prime unit and leading the NFC all the way to Glendale? As we count down to potential announcement day, rumored to be sometime in May, right after Cleveland's combine meetings, every Detroit media outlet is on high alert. Will Dan Campbell drop a subtle hint during mandatory minicamp, or will Brad Holmes let the shadows do the talking until the final minutes? Some speculate that Detroit might even wait until Garrett completes a voluntary workout to maximize the off-season buzz. Picture Garrett casually tossing a football to Jared. Goff on the sidelines, cameras capturing every relaxed grin, fueling social media firestorms. Could that be the strategic teaser Detroit uses to control the narrative and send its rivals scrambling? Meanwhile, NFL analysts on national broadcasts have begun penciling Detroit as the probable landing spot. Pundits debate which draft picks might get repurposed, while others scrutinize the salary cap fallout. Detroit may have to restructure contracts for linebackers and secondary help to free enough space. Fans have taken to Twitter to weigh the pros and cons. Trading future picks for instant impact is a bold move, one fan tweeted. But are we mortgaging too much of our youth for one splashy year? Another countered, if Hutchinson and Garrett team up, that's a generational defense we rarely see. We have to strike now. That tension between short-term glory and long-term stability lies at the heart of every major NFL decision. And for Detroit, the stakes have never been higher. So what's the ultimate impact on the NFC North hierarchy? With Green Bay rebuilding around Jordan Love, Chicago reshuffling its roster, and Minnesota grappling with quarterback questions, Detroit could seize an opportunity that's too lucrative to pass up. If Garrett's arrival materializes, the Lions won't just be contenders, they'll be favorites. Could rival divisions tremble at the thought of facing this edge duo twice a season? And how will Cleveland respond? Will they pivot to a 2-quarterback draft strategy, or double down on defensive reinforcements? The ripple effects extend far beyond Detroit's city limits, altering draft boards and altering off-season blueprints. League-wide. As we wrap up this chapter of speculation, one thing remains crystal clear. Every feed, every press conference, and every insider tweet will be scrutinized until Detroit officially closes the deal, or until the rumor fizzles. But for now, the excitement is palpable. Could Myles Garrett in Honolulu blue be the catalyst that brings Detroit its first Lombardi? Could this be the moment Lions country has been waiting for? The moment that transforms heartbreak into triumph? Only Detroit's decision-makers hold that answer. Now it's your turn. Do you believe Detroit pulls off the Myles Garrett trade, or do you see Cleveland standing firm at the negotiating table? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's ignite the conversation. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and share this video with every Lions fan you know. I cannot wait to read your takes. Until next time, keep roaring, Lions country.